Hey, welcome to the Sequel Station. My name is Rogan Richard. So this is part two in explaining what a relational database is. If you haven't watched part one, I suggest you watch it. But if you don't watch it, you should be able to pick up on what I'm explaining here. So imagine we have a table of orders. So each time they place an order in Amazon, most people have an account with Amazon. Is Amazon going to save your address each time? Each time you place an order, save the address. So imagine this was a table. So every time repeat customer comes into the system, you have your shipping address and you have a billing address. Sometimes it may be the same, sometimes it may be different. You may have a mailing address, or you may want to ship it to a friend's house, whatever have you. So you're going to have more than one address in some cases. Every time an order is placed for John Doe, he has 4 orders right now. Are we going to save his phone number 4 times? That takes up space. It may seem like it's small, but just imagine Amazon, a company that size, and every time you're placing an order, you're saving a phone number, you're saving an email address, you're saving an address. You place many orders. I placed hundreds of orders this year. So every time I place an order, I'm going to save the email address. That's not a good idea. So what we do is break this up into different tables. So now I'm going to switch over to SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. And if you don't have Azure Data Studio installed or SSMS installed, I have a video showing you how to install it. So keep in mind, we have first name, last name, email, phone number, and then we have address type, the address, city, state, country. We have order status, order date, total amount, the product ID, the product name, quantity, product price, etc. So in the previous video, I explained to you what a primary key is and what a foreign key is. So when you see a PK next to a field, that means it's the primary key. You see FK, that's the foreign key. See, foreign key. So customer has a primary key of customer ID, which is linked to the orders he placed. So we have a customer ID here. So this key and this eight represents, or this infinity symbol represents many. So we have a one-to-many relationship here, which is something I also explained in the previous video. So I won't keep bringing up the previous video, but if you haven't watched it, I suggest you watch it. So we have another one-to-many relationship here because this customer can have many addresses. All right, so we have an orders table, and then we have an order products table to capture the orders place with what's inside of the order. And then we have a product over here that's actually where the products are. So just imagine every time you place an order, are we going to put the product, save the product information each time, like the product name, the product description, the product price? Are we going to save that each time? No, we have one table for it that's linked to the orders products table. And this may seem confusing now, and I will get into a little bit more later, but the more you hear it, the less foreign it'll sound to you when I explain it to you in more detail later. So one to many relationship here, and then we have another one to many because we have one product that can be inside of many orders. We have orders that can belong to one customer, and then we have customer one customer that can belong to many different profiles because of many different addresses that they can possibly have, or at least more than one. So that's the one to many. So one to many relationships are expressed here. So like I said, the data is being broken out into different tables. And what's that called? The official terminology for that is called normalization. Normalization, where you are breaking out the information so it's not redundant. So it's not email address place for each order is being saved. An address is being saved each time. No, If someone enters in a new address, it gets saved in a database and it gets linked to their ID. And like when you're in Amazon, you have it saved already. You can just go back and look at it and then grab it. You don't have to save it each time or enter it each time, and they don't need to save it each time. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And in the next video, you're going to go ahead and set up what I have here. Let's show you. Let me show you. So we have this here, profile ID, customer ID. So this customer ID has 3 different profile IDs because they have 3 different types of addresses, and this is their address. So we have orders here. Let's run that. See, we have order ID. We have the customer who placed it. This customer placed 2 orders. These are the amounts. These are the different statuses. Now let's look at customer is where we save the first name, last name, and the email along with their phone number. So you see how we can break these things up. And let's look at product. Okay, product description, the product name, the price, how much is in stock. So what we can do is when this turns to 0, then the front end would know, or let's say you have someone actually behind the scenes, they see your order come in, and let's say this is for a smaller outfit, a smaller type of company where they don't have everything automated like Amazon. So they're entering it in and they realize, oh, the quantity is low. We cannot place this order. So they may need to call, or they may need to call inventory and say, okay, we need to order more XYZ because we have X amount of customers that need it. So you get what I'm saying? So this actually could be linked to another inventory table where that inventory table gets updated every time someone places an order. So I'm trying to show you how things can get linked. So in that inventory table, it would have the product ID inside of the inventory table. So you can see how things are linked. We can't put everything inside of one table. Well, we could, but the database would work horribly because for whatever reason, we have several people trying to access the same record, but they're trying to access different pieces. When I say different pieces, different fields. Someone may want to look at the address. Someone else may want to look at the email address. And I'm just really this is sounding really contrived right now, but I'm just trying to make it really simple right now. We don't need to get complicated, make it real simple. Let's say this table was this here, where this entire row is locked. And then there's someone who wants to update the order status, but then there's someone else who wants to update the product description. Someone else wants to update the quantity because now someone else placed an order. You yourself as a customer or the customer themselves want to change their email address. So this whole row is locked right now. Everyone cannot be in the same record making different changes to it because the database is locking that row. And I'll explain that more in a future video. So this is why we break things up into different tables. So if these are in different tables, then someone who's working on the inventory, they can work on that. The customer themselves can update their address if they want to, delete an address without interfering with someone who's actually updating the status on the order. So I'm hoping this is coming together. I will actually walk you guys through working with this data and giving you different examples, different ideas for you to really put this together. But I think this is clear enough. And if it's not, leave a question in the comment and I'll address it in the next video.